Hi everybody, here's Krystian from Teamwork Cast.
And I am Admiral Putty of the starship Wonderwall.
Wow, it's a British starship. They basically sing there on all day. This is CCG Archeology. This is a very nice little present I got for you guys today. This is the Introductory Two-Player Game for Star Trek, the customizable card game by Decipher. And as an additional bonus, we also have the free warp pack. We're going to start with the free warp pack first, and we're going to come to this puppy in a second here. So, Nick, what is the free warp pack?
So, there was a problem with the way that the 60-card starter boxes were assembled, I guess. The random sort of algorithm that they used to generate these starters, it didn't make them playable out of the box. And so they released these warp packs, which was 12 white-bordered common cards to help make the decks playable. And the way that you got these is that you went onto the Decipher website and ordered them.
Yeah, they're supposed to be free. I didn't got this for free. This is like some collector's item I got. You get them like for $2 or so this is not a big deal. So Gorta is, I think, is a common that you already have. So
all commons. So it's 12 commons that help make the decks playable.
However, I don't think the neutral outpost was there in the premiere starter set. So this is interesting because this is basically the same idea that you had like in the starter set 2 that we already opened, where you get like an additional pack of cards that make the contents of the randomized pack playable.
Yeah.
But these are different cards than you have gotten a second starter set.
So there were 2 cards that had not been seen before that would be released in the next alternate universe expansion.
So I'm guessing like the neutral outpost is one of them, because I don't think that was in the premiere one. So this Gorta I already seen before. This is just an engineer who has physics and greed. This is a neutral outpost, so you can use it with any type of faction. A common space station used by many races for research and trade. Personnel and ships from all affiliations are frequent visitors at such facilities. Seat at any one space location or build a data space location where engineer is present. No repairs here. Yellow alert, we already had this one also as well. Mm-hmm. Place on the table while in play, cancels this card and prevents red alerts, and all your personal are each cunning +1. So I heard that red alert turned out to be like a very broken card.
Yeah.
And the way they dealt with it is that Decipher basically brought out like those referee cards, I guess, or like cards that counter cards that are broken.
Yeah.
So this is, I guess, a counter. Oh, nice. Oh,
Scotty.
Oh, this is good. From one of my favorite episodes too.
The episode was pretty amazing.
Yeah, the Dyson Sphere episode. I think that episode blew everybody's mind and introduced so many people to the concept of Freeman Dyson.
Yeah.
This is our good old Scotty with a broken hand who survived in a transporter for such a long time. Mm-hmm. He's an engineer, astrophysics honor, a miracle worker. That's a great ability to have. He doesn't have very, very good strength. So this is Countermanda. Federation student intern when she discovered her true identity as a Q. Amanda took a dim... Yeah. This was like Q trying to kind of like spoil her into becoming like a bad Q, but she's kind of like...
Yeah, she didn't want to use her Q powers, and Q kept coming by and saying, "You're going to use them, just do it, and you can't mess with the continuum." And he kept trying to kill Worf, I think. I think she kept saving Worf's life.
There's like eventually she like gives up and does like all those amazing things. Nullifies telepathic alien kidnappers, or if opponents just plays rescue or parlor tough, suspend that action, look through opponent's discard pile and put any 3 cards out of play. So this again one of those counter cards. There's specific cards called out in the text. This does nothing when the other cards are not played. So clearly something that is made to counter cards that are broken. So this is a sensitive search. This is like a mission for all 3 factions at the time. Mm-hmm. And it gives you 30 points. Something that somebody suggested in the comments, which I thought was very smart, is like these are basic agendas. And your goal is to get 100 points. So kind of like the distribution of those missions in your deck is kind of like defines your strategy. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have, we want to have like 2 30s and 1 40 or something. So you kind of have to, or like when you're running 25s, then you need to do like 4 missions. So you have to decide whether you want to do 3 missions or 4 missions or how you want to do this. And again, we have a universal mission, again, that requires you to have stellar cartography, while this requires you to have computer skill and cunning. And then you see this one is not for what's there for Klingons. Archeology or cunning greater than 32. This is not for Romulans, physics and integrity, again a mission. And this is again for all factions, exobiology and strength. And this is not for Federation, geology or physics. And this is again one for all factions. This is interesting because this requires astrophysics and youth. It doesn't explain why youth is necessary for the plasma streamer, but I guess plasma streamer only needs youth.
Is that the one where everyone started getting old?
Maybe that would maybe explain it, but it doesn't seem like it's from a specific episode. I don't know. So this is interesting because you get 3 universal missions.
Yeah.
So these are 3 universal missions that you can use for everybody. So this is already I guess you need 6 of those, so you need 3 additional ones, and then you get 3 missions which cannot be used by one of the races. So one of the races gets only 2. So I guess each of the races gets only 2.
But it's nice. I mean, it definitely makes everything playable.
Definitely, I love it. I would have loved this pack to be in the starter sets from the beginning. I actually like these cards also better than the second starter pack, because there you had the weird Ferengi Outpost, and it's I want to be Federation. I don't want to be starting my ships at a weird Ferengi Outpost. Let's continue with the Introductory Two-Player Game, because this basically addresses the same problem that the Warp pack addressed, right?
Yes. So this came out 3 years after premiere.
Yeah.
So in 97, 2 separate pre-constructed 60-card decks, a Federation one and a Klingon one, which are white bordered. I don't know why, but I guess it's because Alpha and Beta Magic were black bordered, and then all the other ones were white.
I never understood why they're changing the border. Pick one and stick with it, guys.
Yeah. So let's see. Each edition included the same 3 premium cards: a black bordered Admiral McCoy, Data Laughing, and a white bordered Spock, and 11 new white bordered mission cards.
Yeah, so this is basically a 2-player introductory game. Something similar came out before, I guess, for the Star Wars trading card game.
Yeah, it came out in 95?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this started, Star Wars game came a little bit later out than the Star Trek game, but it launched with a similar package where it's just a 2-player pre-constructed deck. We have to also mention that, this was unusual at the time, that to have a trading card game where you had a pre-constructed deck.
Yeah.
Because especially the early trading card games were very much focused on this randomized aspect. So this is kind of unusual that they decided to bring out a pack, but I guess they realized very soon that they had a huge problem of getting players into the game, of making them the entry threshold to get started with this game was incredibly high.
Well, especially Magic wasn't typically sold in department stores. It is now.
Yeah.
But so these introductory packs were usually still sold in a Walmart or a Kmart or whatever department store was nearby, Target.
Yeah.
So this was a way to get them out into the mass markets as opposed to the specialty markets of card stores.
Boldly go where no one has gone before. Accept the challenge of the Star Trek Next Generation customizable card game. Choose to play the Federation or the Klingon Empire, and the trial of your strategic powers begins. Intergalactic events, alien encounters, and subspace phenomena are certain to interrupt your quests, while decision-making dilemmas will test your stamina. Be the first to complete a number of missions, and you are the winner. Using the state-of-art technology, each game card is a work of art printed on the finest playing cardstock.
Wow.
Wow, somebody's full of themselves.
Wow.
Whenever you are a collector or player, this game is your transport into a world of adventure. This set includes 2 pre-customized 60-card decks, and one representing the Federation and the other the Klingon Empire. Exclusive to these decks are 11 new mission cards, the legendary Spock, and also included are the following: 2 randomly assorted 15-card expansion packs, one containing one from the whiteboarded initial set and one from the alternate universe, 2 blackboarded premium cards, Zeta Laughing and Admiral McCoy, 3 additional, oh man, you get so much stuff, and a detailed rule book.
Do they give you counters too? I can't remember.
No, they don't.
Open it up. Let's see what's inside.
So there were two of those. So this is the Federation-based one. There was also a Klingon-based one. But the decks themselves were the same. It's just the premium cards that were in there.
Look at that instruction book.
And look at how luxurious this is. Wow, man, this is so different from the tiny little piece of paper you got with the. Man, this is sweet.
They really used that license to full effect.
Oh man, they really want to make a good first impression on this one. This is really nice. Oh man, hopefully this is sharp because this is really sweet stuff.
Oh,
and
you get lists.
You get a deck list and you get a list of all the cards.
That's nice.
That's also very unusual and very, very cool. You get even like a rarity symbol with this. Man, this is a really cool rulebook. I love this.
Good job, Decipher.
And there's some frequently asked questions, I guess.
What does Decipher.com look like these days?
So these are the two boosters that we're going to unbooster in a second. There's the small manual as well. That's nice. So this is what you got in the starter set. If we already had this one previously, but yeah.
Wow.
That's of course not comparable to what we're having here.
So
we're going
Decipher.com, all it is one tiny page, and it says coming in 2015, the new How to Host a Murder. Oh. And then it tells you to go to a different web page, but it doesn't offer a link to you.
I really like this one. This is if they started with this one, maybe my Star Trek experience would have been completely different.
No kidding.
So these are the two decks. We're gonna undeck them in a second here, but we're gonna first look at our premium cards because these are the unique cards. Now there's something interesting which about the LCG, Netrunner LCG, that the creators of the LCG said, which kind of understood only when I saw this one. They said like people are saying to the FFG that when they're doing the draft packs, they should put like premium cards in the draft packs, right?
Yeah.
So people who are collecting the game kind of like have an incentive to buy the draft packs. And the guys from the FFG said they did not want to do this because they don't want to make the draft packs into something that everybody has to buy.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of those special cards. And I like it because this set is basically exactly what the thing they're trying to avoid. Where it's like a starter set, it's just for new players, but they put some like random additional cards in here just to make the collectors just buy this stuff just for those additional cards.
Admiral Picard. Ooh.
I think this is from a cool episode where it's like the hologram deception kind of thing where Riker wakes up in a hologram and he doesn't know that yet. And it seems like Romulans are trying to get information out of him by making him think that he lost his memory. And it's like actually 20 years in the future where Romulans are good guys. It's a really great episode. And then Picard is an admiral. Commander Troy. She has empathy, diplomacy, honor, and anthropology.
And
anthropology?
One very thin strand of gray hair.
Yeah.
Ageless beauty, they're saying.
Oh, man. Commander Data. Man, look at this. I love this because the thing is like when you buy the Star Trek starter set, it's like you get all those cards which are just random guys, random extras from the series. Mm-hmm. But now you get like all the guys, like, hey, Commander Data.
Yeah, this became a huge problem for the Star Wars game, but we'll get into that later, I'm sure.
So again, we have to also maybe clarify, like these are all alternate universe cards. So these are, this is, Commander Troy and Admiral Picard and Commander Data. Data is not a commander in the series. It's all from the same episode, I think. And we have Admiral McCoy, who is not an alternate. I think he comes up in one of the episodes.
It's one of the very early episodes because he was starting to get old, and so they were going to have Scotty on there.
They had to they tried to put all of the old staff in the next generation to do a handoff kind of thing. He has a weird ability, cantankerousness. Cantankerousness? What is cantankerousness?
It's he's very grumpy sort of. He's the rough on the outside, kind of a softy on the inside.
He boosts other personnel as well. So these are our first set of cards, and I guess these cards would be different if I bought the Klingon set. And then these are additional. You get so much promos on this one. This is crazy. Oh, it's just one card. Like why did you put it in
So, okay, the Admiral McCoy was in the very first episode, Encounter at Farpoint.
He was.
Yeah,
that's good.
So that's kind
that
of
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for the pilot episode, you kind of want to have one of the old guard to do the handoff, you know?
Yeah.
When Lieutenant Commander Data rescued the temporary mortal Q from the Kalmarians, also Q awarded him with a gift of laughter. Nullifies Kalmarian or doubles Data's head this turn, or retakes one ship controlled by Lore, returns so that Lore and Rogue Board now follow your direction. Again, one of those cards that really like explicitly mentions other cards.
Yeah.
And is not useful otherwise if there's other things that happen. But it's cool. Let's take a look at those decks. So I bought these mainly because we were after the last unboxing I realized that it's going to require a lot of purchases to construct a viable playable deck.
So the one thing that we should say, because you were just talking about the gift of Q, right before the introductory game came out.
Yeah.
In October of '96, there was a Q Continuum set that was released
that
introduced a side deck to the game. So you had your deck,
that's where it
your
began.
opponent's deck, and then there's another deck off to the side called the Q Flash.
Yeah.
And it was like a little sub kind of, I don't even know what we could call it. They called it the Q's Tent Sideboard.
Yeah, you had to play a Q's Tent card, and then that would allow you to draw cards or get cards from this additional second deck. And they continued, with each expansion, they added even more of those things, so at the event it became very complicated. I mean, even this one, the Alternate Universe expansion, also had like this doorway kind of card, where you could only use those Alternate Universe cards when you had like this doorway installed.
Yeah.
So there's like a lore explanation for why these weird guys are entering your...
We can call this a very strange proto deck building game.
Yeah. All right, so this is the Outpost. We already had this one, I think. Mendon we also had, I think. It's a scientist. Whoa!
The Galaxy! Yeah. Galaxy.
How awesome is this? Oh man, I'm really loving this. Yeah, like here's an Enterprise. Okay, so it's not the Enterprise, but it is it's a Galaxy class ship. Like a Farrak, I think we all had this one, guys. Hey, you get a Nebula as well.
Yeah.
And another Galaxy.
Woo! Another
Mendon.
Why is he there?
He's just a scientist. He's a good scientist.
He's not the little dot to the left of the name means that you can have more than one of them.
Yeah. He's like a universal guy. He's not unique. Yeah. That would be a pretty amazing. So Gorta, we already had this in a warp stuff. Another Nebula. McKnight, pretty good looking. Ensign, gotta say. Tight. She's also pretty tight, I would say. She has stellar cartography and geology. What?
I can't deal with... her cartography certainly is stellar.
She has a stellar cartography. There's regular cartography and stellar cartography. She has stellar cartography. Darian Wallace. He's standing right in front of this card, right?
The Federation, yeah.
He's a security guy who's also an anthropologist.
I'd feel secure if he was holding me.
Yeah, definitely. Narek, we also I think had there's a medical kit that's pretty sweet. A roundabout, man. I really like that they give you a lot of ships because that's fun.
Because it's hard. Like if you fill up a ship and you have a handful of crew, you're like, well, what do I do?
Yeah. And that's something that definitely got very little of in the starter sets. Christopher Hobson, I remember now which episode he was in. He was in an episode where Data took over command of a ship and he was being a jerk all the time to Data. Linda Larson, and she is an engineer who just young and nothing else.
Oh, this lady.
Vector. Medical tricorder. So this is interesting. Gives your science classification personnel this extra screw of medical. So all your scientists become also medics. So this is really nice. Another Tite. Another Hobson. Calloway. Ensign Calloway is representative of Starfleet medical technician served aboard the USS Enterprise. Torek. Tricorder gives your engineer classification personnel the extra. So I wonder if you have the medical tricorder in this one, will all your engineers all become medics? How does it work?
I don't know.
I guess they do. Another security guy. I love it. It's just random like
you just
security.
Fill up people with a generic. You fill up a generic ship. Then you throw like Admiral Picard in there, and you're like, let's go.
Ensign Juicy. So this is she's also just young and does nothing else. She's just a guy who flies the ship, I guess. So this is Survey Instability, just a Federation mission for 25. And it requires geology and a lot of strength. Simon Tarsis, who is also just young. He's 1/4 Romulan and 3/4 human. Homeward, Anthropology and Computer Skill, also 25 mission. Here's the Archer dilemma. So I actually asked some people around how these works, and that's interesting. Like, because the dilemmas are basically the eyes of this game.
Uh-huh.
So if these are agendas, or these are the things that prevent you to get to the agendas.
Yeah.
And so this one has, like, away team member with the highest total attribute numbers is shot and dies unless security and medical present. Discard dilemma. And the discard dilemma is an important one because that means, like, the next time you attempt this mission, this dilemma no longer is present. So it kind of fires just once. It's a so-called bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, a popular strategy would be to send, like, some kind of douchey dude like this one just in a roundabout. Send him in a roundabout and just make this mission and just make him trigger all the bombs and just sacrifice him.
Find me a red shirt.
And until all the dilemmas are discarded, and then you'd attempt the actual mission. And the funny thing is, like, this is called red shirting.
Yeah, find me a red shirt.
The Gatherers. Unless Morok or Integrity, 36, more than 36 present, discard all equipment and artifacts in away team, plus one card, random selection from your hand, discard dilemma. So you get robbed. But again, if you redshirt this, it doesn't matter. It's like, whatever, I don't have anything with me. Plasma Fire. Okay, we already had this one. This is actually, I think, a restricted card. It has been become a restricted card. So it kind of, you play it on a ship and it damages the ship slowly. This is cool because you can boost the mission with this. But the thing is, like, the 5 points, I wonder when there are situations where the 5 points made a difference. I'm not sure if there is a situation like this. Long range scan. Glance at all the cards aboard any ship for 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
10
So
seconds.
I wonder how this works in a tournament setting. All right, type 6 shuttlecraft.
I recently played Space Alert. And there's the
Hmm.
communication disruption, so for like 10 seconds you can't talk to each other.
That's cool.
Be interesting. But I guess
Yeah.
I don't know how it would work in terms of a...
Yeah, I guess I think some of the cards were restricted because it was very difficult to enforce this. Like, I think Pokemon also had, like, this card that was banned, where it was like, if it's your birthday, you do additional damage. And it was, like, very difficult in the tournament setting to determine whether it's actually somebody's birthday.
I love the early Wild West of the CCGs. Because you have, like, Shahrazad, which is like, play another game of Magic
Yeah.
to see if this card does anything. And then, like, you could Shahrazad inside the Shahrazad card, and you're like, play another game of Magic. Or then there's, like, the Chaos Orb, where you're like, you can rip it up and just throw it, and it destroys everything. And you're like, no, those cards shouldn't be allowed in tournaments. Anyway.
Oh, this is interesting. 2 away team members, random selection, are chased. Examine cards separately. Personal escapes if cunning is even. Killed if it's odd. So it's kind of like random. Discard dilemma. So again, one of the things that you get, you can just redshirt away. Space Dock, place on Outpost, instantly repairs your damaged ships if they stop here. Also repairs non-aligned ships. Something that bugs me, like event, it seems like in one-time thing only, like in event, right? Mm-hmm. But event actually means it stays for longer. Parlor Tough, exchange this card for any non-personal card in discard pile. So this was one of the cards that could be countered with this warp pack thing. Escape pod, place on ship being destroyed. Escape pod saves entire crew. Unseen by enemy ships, crew remains in pod until personal rescued. Discard after rescue. I wonder how do you rescue?
I don't know.
Unseen by enemy ships. So the enemy ships cannot kill you anymore. Huh. Gives all your officer classification personnel the extra skill of engineer where present. So all the officers get engineers.
Their first encounter with
Ferengi, yeah. That was an alien enemy that didn't go so well because it was horribly racist. Kill one away team member, opponent's choice, unless total cunning plus strength is greater than 68, or greed present. Discard dilemma. Interesting that you have to have greed in order to solve this dilemma.
Well, because that's all that the Ferengi understood.
I guess. Tetrian field, we already had this one, plays crosswise, and it kind of stops the ships.
I am sad.
Wormhole.
We have not seen any crystalline entity.
I think there must be one.
There's got to be, because it was such a huge
an
deal
important
until
one.
the Borg shows up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I kind of it's kind of a bad deal that they didn't get out more of this crystalline entity there. There was just, I think, like 1 or 2 episodes with it. It requires 2 wormholes. Play on any ship just as it begins to move. Play the other where the ship immediately emerges. Discard wormholes. So you have to play 2 of those. I hope you have the second one in this deck. Otherwise, it's going to be really awkward. So this is the counter to Rescue and Parlor Toff. This is a loss of orbital stability placed on any ship at a planet location. Ship can't move for 1 turn. Also, ship is destroyed at the end of next turn unless shields are greater than 4. Discard after use. So that's an interrupt. Another dilemma. Love's male interest. Runs off with a lover to furthest planets where he remains. Atmospheric ionization plays crosswise on an planet location. A maximum of 3 personnel per turn can be beamed up or down at this location. So it really kind of limits your away team size to just 3. And this is the second wormhole. Oh yeah, another Montgomery Scott.
Man, so many Scots just running around.
Oh man, I have 2 Scots. Man, this is also pretty sweet, I have to say. Like having the Scotty on board of your first deck.
Wait, is this the Q event that Data's laughing counteracts?
I think yes.
Okay.
Oh no, it is Data's laughing. Wait a minute, let me look this up real quick. No. It is the one that is countered by this lady, this girl Q.
Okay.
So this or Trader Toff. So this is a dilemma that I think those decks need a little bit more of, because it seems to be like the more important dilemma. Because to get through this door, our away team needs to have computer skill present. And then it doesn't say discard dilemma. So, if you have redshirt this, it's like, all right, you cannot proceed,
Yeah.
So I'm guessing like the idea is the strategy was very much about, because at the beginning you can arrange the dilemmas in the right order. So, you put a door, then afterwards you put a bomb, and then yet another door. So it's like when you redshirt this, you get a door. And then it's like, oh gosh, I guess I have to like the computer skill. Then you get a computer skill redshirt to get through the door, then you get killed by the bomb and get yet another door.
I think Decipher made a mistake because all of their common people, none of them are red shirts.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
we haven't seen any other red shirts except for like the commander and the admiral. Like,
but this is TNG. The red shirts they have different colors. Like the original series, there were red shirts, but in TNG there were other ones. I think the security were like the
they became yellow shirts mostly.
The puke colored one. Pattern enhancers placed on table allows your personal equipment unlimited beaming through atmospheric ionization, distortion fields, whatever. Disruptor overload place of any ship or away team, 1 equipment card or 1 artifact played as equipment card is destroyed. Yellow alert, we already had this one. And then we have some additional missions. So this is a hostage that requires security and medical for 25. This is a Grace World, medical and officer, and physics. Wow, this is a very expensive mission, but this is 30. 35, the stress mission. Cunning, youth. This requires 3 times youth and cunning more than 32, or 3 times honor. Kevin Uxbridge.
I don't remember this episode at all.
Destroys all event cards in play at 1 space line location.
Oh, he was the guy.
This sounded. Cargo Rendezvous, engineering. So this is 35 mission. Oh, and there's Spock.
Oh,
nice.
Because he was somehow still alive hundreds of years after.
Yeah, I guess he was. I don't remember the TNG episode where he was in. So, like, interesting thing to look at is kind of like the mission distribution here. All right, so a couple of 25er missions. But only 3 of those, 130 mission and a couple of 35er missions. I guess if you can go for the smaller ones and then do a 30er mission, or you can go like for one of the bigger ones and fill up with 25ers and then maybe play this one special card that gives you 5 additional points. I think there are some really cool strategies on how you do the distributions with the missions.
So. That Kevin Uxbridge, that was the one. That's probably one of my favorite episodes from, I think it was season 3, where they come upon this completely dead planet, and there's just this guy and his wife.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, and he killed everybody, right?
Yeah, he murdered everybody. He murdered an entire species. I
remember.
Yeah.
On our last unboxing, I think we had the ship that attacked him.
Yeah. Because he kept making the ship come back.
Mm-hmm.
And now I remember.
So this is the counter deck, the Klingon deck. Now I wonder if the strategy will be different now. So this is the Klingon Outpost. The Outposts in a premiere set were pretty easy. Dukath! He's a science archaeologist. Vecma, who is a medical person. And then Krom, who's an engineer. And then Bijik, who is an officer, a navigator. And then Torin, who's science and astrophysicist. And then Jdan, who is science and exobiology and treachery. We have Narek, which was also another different one. So this is a Vorcha class one. So that's really sweet. And, I think we already opened one, but that's cool.
Yeah, we did.
Clog, who is an officer who does also navigation.
His
Torin.
parents loved him so much.
Gorath, who just has honor. And he's a security guy, so that's nice.
I don't know why all of the Klingons don't have honor.
Yeah. I guess not all of them are honorable. Gorta, yeah, so just random dudes. Another Vorcha, yes. This is an honorable officer. This is this is a pretty cool emo.
Good lord.
Emo artwork here. Youth and biology. It's a medical dude again. Clegg, who's a security honor guy. Dr. Farek, who is just greedy. And we see a medical kit. That doesn't seem very Klingon.
No.
But it turns all the officers into medicals, so that's nice. Here's a hologram, Ktesh. I think we already had this one already. He's also doing stellar cartography. Biology and youth from Divok again. Clegg again. Ooh. AKC Ratak. Another. That's a K word, so that's not the Vorcha that we had previously.
Yeah.
So this is Bird of Prey. Bird of Prey, named in honor of the author of the classic work of Klingon literature, The Dream in a Fire. Okay. And that's a generic K-word, so a generic Bird of Prey. Another Bird of Prey, Ktesh.
Man, you really could just fill ships up and just have them running all over the galaxy doing whatever.
So I heard that the popular strategy with the Klingons is not to do the missions, actually, but just to fill your ships with Klingons and just destroy the other ships attempting to do missions.
That's so Klingon.
Yeah. And that was apparently a very popular strategy. So this is exobiology and officer in honor. These are Klingon only missions. This is really interesting. This is physics and strength or biology and honor for 25, and archaeology and officer times 2 for 25. So yeah, Kevin Uxbridge again. What does he do? Destroys all events in a location, yeah. Where no man has gone before. Yes, we already had this one. Allows your ships to leave one end of the space line and return on the other end. So it basically turns everything into a Pac-Man level.
Also in the Uxbridge episode, that's when Deanna Troi just couldn't stop hearing music.
Oh man, yeah, that's the best thing where one of your main characters hallucinates for half of the episode. That's so good. Classic writing here. I'm looking at you, Battlestar Galactica. Glance at so we had this one, Alien Labyrinth. So this is an interesting dilemma. To get through this maze-like structure and continue, a away team must have a tricorder or 2 engineers. So again, like a wall kind of dilemma that you put at the beginning. Plasma fire, another atmospheric ionization, another Palotov, medical tricorder. So this is again one of the boost cards that give you 5 initial points. This is a dilemma. So if you solve this dilemma, you not only solve the dilemma, but you also get 5 points.
Nice.
But that's weird, because it's like a kill 1 away team member, unless medical and security present. So this is a bomb. This is something that can be redshirted, and you get 5 points for this? Like, why? Why would you play this over this archer thing, for example, which also kills an away team member, and it doesn't give you the 5 points? The opponent the 5 points. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I know what
I'm saying.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
All right, Wormhole Engineering Key. I think these seems very similar. So this is interesting. The Federation had a male love interest, and the Klingons get a female love interest. Malfunctioning door. To get through the door, must have Zorong type android. So you need data for this. a Zong type android, or a combined strength of greater than 27 from up to 4 away team members.
Oh, Q again.
Yeah, you need quite a group of people to get through this.
Mm-hmm.
You need up to 4. Oh, no. So you can have less than 4. All right, got this. Rescue. And wormhole, another second wormhole, tricorder, and anaphanic orgasm.
It definitely looks like she's having an orgasm.
We already had we had this before already. So yeah, that's like if there's females in there, they resign because they have too much orgasm. Hidden entrance. This is interesting. To locate the concealed entrance and continue, away team must have Geordie LaForge or engineer and cunning plus greater than 32.
Wow.
So Geordie LaForge uses his thing and finds the thing. Counter Madana is also in here. Disruptor Overload destroys an equipment stuff. A Vector and Sensitive Search, which is a universal mission with computer skill and cunning. And Stellar Cartography, Avert Danger for 30. And Navigation and Honor or Navigation Engineering for 35. Loss of orbital stability and Ship Seizure. So we can tractor beam stuff. What do you think, Nick?
I think that they actually did a pretty decent job of making a playable game right out of the box for this.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like you can just set up all of your ships, that you have a bunch of dilemmas to throw at people. You can load up your ships and run around the galaxy. I also like that they have 2 alternate ways of playing, because, I mean, you're really going to load up your Klingon ships and run around just shooting. Because that's what the Klingons do.
Yeah, and it's like all the iconic like Birds of Prey that you know from the movies, and the Vorcha class, which you know from the series. So that's really nice. I really like this. I'm a bit worried that there's, I think, too little dilemmas in here.
I wouldn't say so, but, you know, this is just a taste for the game.
Yeah, I guess. And something that I find really cool is that you get the boosters in here.
Yeah. Oh, they also gave you some alternate universe ones, huh?
Yeah. So should we crack this one?
Let's crap it open. Yeah.
Crap this open. So let's go with this is the first one we opened those boosters. We only had like starter packs before. Oh, this was so much easier than the Proteus. This is so difficult, man. You don't know my struggle.
The struggle is real. Where's your knife? There you go.
My rusty, trusty knife.
Ooh. Is that the retrovirus?
No, it's a dilemma. Klanoth. Kill one AOT member, opponent's choice, unless security, 3 security or strength more than 40. Discard dilemma. So you get another bomb. Cloaked mission, so another cool mission for the Klingons. 2-dimensional creatures. This is interesting. Oh, I remember this episode. This was crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah, so also a really good special effect for this.
It's like a was it Interstellar? Instead of a four-dimensional space, you have a 2-dimensional space being.
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
How about that?
Yeah. Way to steal from everything.
Place on a ship, empaths disabled. Also, ship can't move until science or engineer present. Sweet. Ancient computer cannot get past until 2 computer skill or 3 science or 3 engineer present. Another cool dilemma. Also, this is in a cool wall. I really like this one. This is actually pretty tough to get through because you need a lot of stuff to get through. Like 3 engineers is kind of like quite a big deal. Espionage. We have Mendon. We already have Torek. We have a Starfleet Type 2 phaser, pattern enhancers, Archer, Dilemma, another Nebula, sweet,
Nice.
And an Excelsior. Oh man,
Excelsior.
And Hobson, and engineering kit. Oh, and a repair mission for the Federation, which requires 3 engineers. Oh, it's 35. I mean, it's a huge mission because 3 engineers and computer skill.
Yeah.
But 35 is puts you on the right track to.
So you're gonna open it up. There's gonna be a future Enterprise in there.
Man, we have to explain this because this is the first set that had ultra rares, right?
Yeah.
And the ultra rare there's just one ultra rare in the entire set, and that is the Future Enterprise.
And it's gonna be in this pack. I know it.
Oh, these are black bordered.
Ooh, black bordered, white bordered. There was a tin that was released that Decipher released that had all of the initial cards. They had silver borders.
Yeah, I know, crazy. I wonder if they were tournament legal. So this is a dilemma. Unless treachery times 2, disruptors, Wesley Crusher, or exobiology present, 2 OA team members with diplomacy, random selections are killed. But only with diplomacy. But it doesn't say discard. So this stays around. So this is funny. Yeah, like you put this in front of a dilemma that requires diplomacy. And it's like you, additional to diplomacy, you also need the things to prevent your diplomats to get through the second thing. Oh, Maman Picard.
Maman Picard, really?
Yes.
Oh, man. That's nice.
Maman Picard, it's the dilemma. And it says, if it is a Federation ship, immediately transport it to any end of the space line. And that's it. There's just, how do you solve this dilemma?
Picard.
You don't. No, seriously, like you have to attempt this with not a Federation ship, I guess. Intruder force field. Place on a table when in play. Reverse telepathic aliens, kidnappers affecting you and rogue board invading your ships. Must be 3 or more to be effective.
So, to answer your question, the silver bordered cards were tournament legal.
That's fun. Mm-hmm. This is a coalescent organism. Unless exobiology present, 1 personal random selection dies at the end of your turn. If others present at the death, organism is passed to one of them. Random selection, etc.
Wow.
Etc. is a nice thing to put on a card, like and so forth. I think this was also one of the restricted or banned cards. To locate the concealed... okay, we already had this one, so we need Jordy for this one. Unless 2 science or a mind meld present, play on table as an event card. When in play, lower strength of each of your personnel by 2, not cumulative. This is weird. Hunter gangs we already had. The gatherers we already had. Rishon Uxbridge. So this is the wife of this guy.
Yeah.
This guy. Place a top 1 event card in play, protects the underlying event from Kevin Uxbridge. However, Kevin Uxbridge may remove discard Rusan, not cumulative. So again, a counter card. Latinum Payoff. Place if greed aboard your ship when it destroys another ship in battle. X equals 3 bonus points for each officer aboard destroyed ship. So you get money if you destroy people, if you destroy officers. Enter matter spread. Place at the start of a ship battle. For this battle, opposing ship's weapons -1. For each personal on board with cunning less than 8. Or Borg ship weapons equals 16 this turn. This is a very complicated card. But it's from the Best of Two Worlds episode. From the Borg episode, where they do like this kind of trick to distract the Borg. Howard Heirloom Candle. Place to double effects of anaphasic organism or emphatic echo, nullifies coalescent organism, or prevents Aina and Sala from morphing this turn. Man, this is like 3 effects which all refer to other cards.
So basically, in your little Q tent deck, you could just sit there and put in a bunch of contingency plans.
These are not Q cards. This is
so only Q cards could make it in there. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not exactly sure. I never opened a Q deck myself. So if your listeners are out there, if you know any better, let us know. Place an opponent. This is a thine oneself. It's an interrupt. Place on opponent's 1 or 2 person away team. Away team is lost. Place under mission. Rescued if owner later completes mission. Captured if you do. So this is cool because this allows you to kind of like prevent redshirting.
Mm-hmm. Yellow alert.
Yellow alert. And, oh, nice! You can have a pig as a crew on board.
Nice. What is the pig at?
So this is an animal, and it is... Wait a minute, let me put it sharp. It is a Targ. Horned Fury, ferocious boar-like animal, a popular Klingon pet. Lieutenant Worf has had one as a child. Heart of Targ is a Klingon delicacy. This one is male. And the abilities are all non-Targ Klingons get plus strength +1 where present. Nullifies 1 just played rogue board where present. So it eats Borg and it makes your Klingon stronger. This is a really good addition to our Klingon deck, isn't it?
Nice. That really is.
All right, so these are the cards that we got from this. Some sweet cards here.
I thought it was pretty fantastic.
I think this is a really good thing. The only problem is that I think this is a really good start, like to for people who won't be like, I don't know, this trading card game looks interesting. I want to try it because this is just like a box you can buy.
Yeah.
You know, like the new LCGs now. The only problem is that it's very difficult to get a hold of this. The print run wasn't very large, so they're pretty rare.
Yeah, as opposed to the Star Wars one, which will open here in a little bit.
Soon in the future,
That
Nick.
was super common.
Super common.
I think I worked at Kmart when those things came out, and there was just
Oh, so you remember
dozens
yourself.
of them. Yeah.
Interesting. But this looks like really nice. So now we have playable decks for the customizable card game from Star Trek. And you can expect us playing some of these games in the future and recording them. And we're going to see how this plays.
I think Falco needs to play this game. He should be the Klingons.
I don't know. Do you think Falco's a Star Trek kind of guy?
I don't know if he's a Star Trek kind of guy, but I think he's a Klingon kind of guy.
Yeah, he's the kind of this is basically Falco himself on this card. All right, so we're going to be back in the future with some more unboxing and more card gameplays recorded from this specific card game. So
this does belong in a museum.
This does belong in a museum indeed.
But it belongs in a museum.
What are you doing to that box?